2 people. Who's that? Nobody in the chat yet, huh? Well, at least hit the like button if you can. I'd appreciate that much. One person. Uh-oh. See what happens today. It might take a little while. Victor Falls, what's going on, brother? I should have known. I hope you hit the like button, Victor. Everybody hit the like. Everybody, this for you. Oh, Dennis Nielsen, what's going on? Good to see you. Thank you, Victor. Hope we get a big audience today. I got about an hour to do this, and then I got to go shovel a lot. A lot. 7 people, please hit the like button, everybody. Jump in the chat whenever you'd like. Tell me why you support Donald Trump. Unknown Trader, what's going on, bro? When do we get the pitchforks and torches? It's looking like pretty soon. It is. 18 people, please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you. All we need is the first MAGA jerk off to jump into the chat and talk shit, and we're on a roll. Shouldn't take long. Never does. How much snow you guys get? We got a little under a fuck ton over here. Oh yeah. I know, right, Victor? It only takes a few minutes every live stream. Yeah, like as if they're not subscribed. You know what I mean? They have to be, because they wouldn't see every fucking live stream I do. You know what I'm saying? But every show, there's certain jerk offs that are like, oh no, this guy again. Like, you just came across me by accident, right? Yeah, sure. Oh, that's not too bad, Ryan. That's not too bad, especially in Colorado for you guys. Probably used to this shit. All right. The waiting game. 23 people. Hit the like button, please. What does that mean? Oh, how about you? I don't know. I was trying to figure that out on the last show. We probably got about 7 or 8 inches so far. It's fucking pretty miserable. Oh, I know. Unknown Trader. I know. Complete hypocrites. Yep. This dude had his fucking gun holstered. They disarmed him and then shot him. Yep. That's the plan, Victor. So now that the U.S. is a safe space for pedos and fascists, can we send ours? No. You keep them. We have enough in the Republican Party. We don't need any more. Fuck Trump and his failed administration. That's right, Jorge. I'm with you. At least 10. Yeah, I saw you say that on the last one. It's crazy. They say we're going to get about 18. Fucking sucks. I hate snow with a fucking passion. All the people in Florida right now are having a great time. Cali, you know? Southern Cali, anyway. Fuck Trump and his failed administration. Oh, I read that one. Come on, guys. What's going on? 42 people. Hit the like button. Jump in the chat, please. Why does Trump want the voter information? Oh, they're going to do everything possible to steal the primaries. You know they're going. Or I mean the midterms. You know they are. TDS is peak in this chat. There we go. There's the first jerk off. Tremendous dick syndrome. Listen, I know I have it. I don't know about anybody else in the chat. America was a good idea that got out of hand. Al Murray. Never heard that one before. Now I heard them justify shooting him because he wasn't carrying his permit or a government picture ID. Like as if they even waited to find out. You know? They're disgusting people, man. They are. Little by little, they're sane-washing, ICE murdering citizens, sick bastard. Of course they are, yeah. And this is just the start. It's going to get worse. You know it is. I'm a joke. How am I a joke? The one elite or whatever the fuck your name is. You're in here watching me. You know that, right? I'm not watching you. You're watching me. Question though, why show up to a protest with a gun? Don't get me wrong. I completely disagree with this. Or just wondering why. You know, I understand why that question could be asked, but the bottom line is it really doesn't even matter because he had every right to. You know what I'm saying? It's just like saying, why did you wear a coat to the fucking protest today? Felt like it. You know what I mean? It's, I have every right to. You know, that's what it really comes down to, especially, on the right. I mean, everybody, all they care about is that Second Amendment. The rest of the Constitution be damned. So for them to act like this is unbelievable. The guy had his gun holstered. He had a permit to carry. He didn't pull his gun on anybody, didn't do anything of the sort. They killed him for nothing. As far as bringing a gun, listen, I don't know. In this country, you bring a gun anywhere near law enforcement, there's a good chance you're going to get killed. Usually not the white people, though, but in this case, even the white people. So I got to be careful. But the guy had every right to do it. Every right, just like, filming the cops. It's not necessarily a great idea because the cops will try to fuck you up. But you have the right to do it. Supreme Court says so. This guy celebrated and laughed when National Guard died, said he loves spitting on veterans. Spiting? You mean spitting has two T's, stupid. Yeah, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Good try, though. Never met anyone defending pedo before, but the last few weeks, wow, MAGA are great at mental gymnastics. Oh, yeah, they don't care who's a pedo. They probably like them more if they are. Then how can we say he's removing illegal immigrants? What do you mean, Cindy? I'm sorry. They just killed him, and then they rifled through his pockets after he was dead. Oh, yeah, they just killed him. And yep. The way for Republicans to win the midterms is to show how corrupt Democrats are. Yeah, right. The fact that you guys, well, I would say you watch what's going on, but Fox News doesn't show you any of this stuff. To say Democrats are corrupt now, one of the funniest things ever, because you have to compare them to the Republicans. And Trump's made $3.8 billion off of the office of the presidency since January 20th, 2025. All his kids' net worths have doubled, and his son Barron made $150 million off insider trading. But yeah, let's talk about how corrupt the Democrats are. Also, Marjorie Taylor Greene, with insider trading, made about $25 million. It's a constitutional right. If you have a permit to carry, you can carry your gun anywhere you go. Exactly. Oh, yeah, they don't care. They don't care. They don't. I told you guys, every day, remember my words. Every time you see something like this, they stand for nothing. Donald Trump and the Republicans and Fox News tell them what to think, and that's what they think. They don't have minds of their own. They're not capable of independent thinking. They're not. They just, whatever the fuck they're told to feel, that's what they feel. It's just the way it is. Yeah, true, Dennis. Sabrina Merrick, 149 super sticker. Thank you very, very much. Proof of what? Spirit. You can go look it up. Tell me if I'm wrong. Go ahead. When you ask for a source for something like that, it's, I don't know what to tell you. It's literally everywhere. It's just a known fact now at this point. The only way you don't know it is if you watch Fox News. You know what I mean? That's about it, because they won't tell you. Everybody knows it. It's been widely reported. You can look up. I'm sure that it's got to be documented too, because this is most of this money came from his crypto coin. So and he dropped that coin a day before he was inaugurated, and it's basically just a way for foreign leaders and stuff to bribe him. That's all there is to it. Yeah, oh, I know, Ryan. Well, they truly believe they're constitutionalists. Meanwhile, they don't mind Trump stepping all over the First Amendment. You know what I mean? The fuck shit. Even when he kind of infringed on their Second Amendment, they didn't have a problem with it. The 12th Amendment, the 22nd Amendment, he doesn't care about any of them, and neither do they. They don't give a fuck. They're like, what Constitution? Why would you ask anyone with sense would they support Donald Trump? Well, the people I'm asking don't have any sense, if that's what you're saying. Crypto is bad now. See what I mean? Black and white people, they have no complexity to their thinking. No, crypto isn't bad, fuckface. But when you use it to take bribes, basically, and you're the president of the United States, yeah, then it's not the crypto that's bad. It's you that's bad. Neosporin, $2. Kyle Rittenhouse brought a huge gun to a protest. Of course he did. And the guys in the tanks drove right past them. Soros, here we go. Let's get another QAnon guy over here. I gotta go, guys. Market will be crazy tomorrow. Time for charting. I don't know what that means, but go ahead, unknown trader. Have a good one, brother. What bribe was taken? Spirit. So Donald Trump started this crypto coin. He dropped it the day before he was inaugurated. Okay, and since then, he, without a doubt, has gotten money from tons of people that are shady characters that the president shouldn't be taking money from. And the fact, or the thing that proves that is just one thing. For example, about 6 months ago, something like that, Donald Trump had a dinner at Mar-a-Lago, and it was for the 200 biggest investors in his crypto coin. Okay. And they showed up wearing masks. Now, again, when you say you got any proof, that is something that was on the news all over the place. There was video of the people showing up to Mar-a-Lago wearing masks. They didn't want anybody to see who they were, and neither did Donald Trump. He didn't want anybody to see who they were either, because, again, foreign leaders and stuff, they buy a couple $100 million of his crypto coin. They get whatever they want from him. It's just a back channel to Donald Trump. That's why he had the fucking dinner with them, and he didn't want that to be known, by the way. I believe they changed the time because the news media found out about it. Okay, so, and CZ, it is a fact that CZ, the CEO of Binance, who pleaded guilty to all his crimes, he was laundering money through his crypto platform for pedos and terrorists and drug lords and everything else. He pleaded guilty to his crimes, so there's no reason he should get a pardon, period, no matter what. Okay. He got a pardon from Trump. But what happened first is CZ got Trump a $2 billion investment into World Liberty Financial, the company that owns Trump's crypto coin. And CZ got pardoned after he did that. So he's selling pardons, and that's not the only one. It's not the only one. What do you think he pardoned the fucking former president of Honduras for? The fucking guy went on trial in 2024 in the United States for trafficking 400 tons of cocaine into this country, and Trump pardoned him. He was sentenced to 45 years. Now he's free as a bird. So, well, that's because you're what you're watching, Josh. And I'm not even being a dick when I say that. You guys don't realize that when you watch stuff like Fox and OAN and Newsmax, they only show you stuff that makes Trump look good. And they're not going to tell you anything about his corruption. Nothing. You could also check about all the kids. All their fucking net worths have doubled. Don Jr., Eric Trump, Ivanka Trump, and Barron made, like I said, fucking $150 million, him and his friends, when Trump deliberately crashed the economy so all his people could make fuck tons of money. You know, that's why he put the tariffs on and took them right off the next day. That was the whole point. Even Scott Bessent sat on fucking Fox and said, I knew he was going to do that. We all knew. We all knew that he was going to put the tariffs on and take them off the next day. That, by definition, if you invested based on that information, is insider trading. Hunter got a pardon, owed near $2 million in taxes. He got pardoned. Well, Kash Patel said he was going to do anything in his power to prosecute Hunter Biden, even if he has to invent a crime. So good. I'm glad Joe Biden pardoned his son. By the way, the people that Donald Trump has pardoned so far owe a total of about, I think it's 2. We'll just go with 1 to be safe. It's at least $1.1 billion in restitution that they don't have to pay anymore. They don't have to pay. A lot of which they owe to the government and their victims. They don't have to pay that anymore. Larry Nassar is serving a 175-year sentence for doing just half of what Donnie has done. Oh, and Cindy Prim, no doubt. And you saw that fucking letter. I don't care what anybody says. I believe 100% that letter is real from Epstein from jail to Larry Nassar about Trump. Look at this. Orange Sunrise. Nothing wrong with Trump. Fact, you're bald. Fact. You're like a third grader. Oh my God, guys, he pointed out that I'm bald. I got to go cry now. It's fucking stupid. There's always something this guy makes up when Trump is right. Smoking cigs, job. Oh, this is my job. Let me tell you something, bro. It is, and you could ask Victor Falls in the chat or anybody who's just watching my MobTube show. It is right now 2:10 p.m. I just ended my first show of the day about 10 minutes ago, and I made $300 cash on that show. So this is my job. Believe me. Yeah, Biden pardoned Hunter. Of course he did. Oh, God, Chris G. You guys with the gay shit. Oof. Full read the 22nd Amendment out loud to everybody. Why? For what purpose? Why would I do that? I don't understand. I didn't say he violated it, fuckface. I said he's talked about violence. Well, I didn't even say that. All I said is he doesn't give a fuck about the first, the 12th, the 22nd Amendments. The 22nd Amendment says that he can't run for a third term, and the 12th Amendment, because after enough abuse he was taken from the media and shit about constantly saying he was going to run a third term, or run for a third term, he tried to push the idea, well, if I can't run for a third term, I'll just run as vice president, and J.D. Vance can run as president, and he could drop out, and I'll be the president then. Or at least his people said it. Except the 12th Amendment says that nobody who isn't eligible for the presidency is eligible for the vice presidency. Okay? Or anybody who isn't eligible for the presidency isn't eligible to be vice president either, because of course not, for that very reason. Then they could wind up serving a third term or a fourth term. Trump is all over the Epstein files. All of you Trumpers are in for a very rude awakening. Well, that's if, listen, it's been over a year now, just by a few days that Trump's been in office. Since February 2025, Ghislaine Maxwell's appeals were up and stuff, and they were able to release the Epstein files. Trump can do it whenever he wants. He could do it today if he wants. He doesn't need approval from any judge or anyone else. They didn't even need to make the stupid Epstein Files Transparency Act law. They didn't need to do any of that. Donald Trump could just release the files. The deadline was December 19th. They broke the law by not meeting that deadline. They released less than 1%, 12,000 files out of 2 million. And they're not going to release the rest, believe me. And all this other horse shit. And I know you guys who believe that Donald Trump is on the up and up and nothing he does is in any way to manipulate the public or the media or anything else. All of this shit is just to distract from the biggest scandal in presidential history, hands down, way above Watergate. The fact that this guy's all over the Epstein files and he refuses to release them or let the DOJ release them. So even Venezuela, that was, don't get me wrong, he wanted the oil, but that was just to get the media's attention away from the Epstein files. They don't know how to keep their eye on the ball. They're stupid, and he takes advantage of that. I don't doubt it, Agent Smith. Let me see. Obama 2028. Yeah, Cindy Prim. Hey, if Trump could run a third term, right? You imagine what Obama would do to him in an election? Oh my God. Fucking Obama would get 130 million votes. I guarantee it. Oh my God. After seeing what Joe Biden did to him, holy shit. Let me see here. Oh, Cindy Prim. All right. I'm going by who else? Okay, I only see you in here now. Hold on. Guys, bear with me. Do me a favor. Hit the like button and subscribe, please. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Hang on 1 second. All right, I can't do it right now. I'm getting a call. I'm trying to, though. I'm trying to give you a wrench, Cindy. That's what I'm getting at here. You guys obviously cheated. Well, tell us how. Tell us how we cheated. I mean, first of all, what do you mean you guys? You think us as voters cheated? Okay. Tell me how, because there's no proof whatsoever of it. Did you see what Jack Smith just testified in front of Congress? Did you see that? Nothing. Obama was a piece of shit. Sure he was. Sure he was. Because you lied. He never violated the 22nd Amendment. If you read it, I never said that he did. He doesn't give a shit about the 22nd Amendment. That's what I said. And he doesn't, because he's repeatedly talked about running for a third term. Do you know why he's in the Epstein files? Because Jeffrey Epstein hated him. He talked about Trump and getting Trump all the time. No, he didn't. You're full of shit, Chris G. He did not. No, you're right. It's that. It's not the fact that Donald Trump was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 10 years. It's not the fact that Trump is in multiple fucking videos and pictures with Jeffrey Epstein. It's not the fact that Donald Trump one time said of Jeffrey Epstein, he's a wonderful guy to hang out with. He even likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. It's not the fact that he was accused of raping Katie Johnson with Jeffrey Epstein in 1996. It's none of that, right? Now, it's definitely because Epstein hated him. Yeah, okay. You guys literally made that up. There's no proof anywhere that Epstein had any problem with Donald Trump. None. You guys saw an email where Jeffrey Epstein said something like he could take Trump down if he wanted to. And you guys translated that into, oh, he hated Donald Trump. Tell me the proof that he hated Donald Trump. I'll wait. Tell me. Tell me. And according to his fucking brother, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein talked in 2017, which means they were still friends. Oh, man, I'm having a tough time here. It's costing me all kinds of time. Hold on. Fucking YouTube sucks, man. I hate to say it, but they have so many fucking issues. Okay. Why did Joe Biden release any of them? Why did Joe Biden release any of them? What do you mean, why didn't he? Because Ghislaine Maxwell's case was on appeal until February of 2025. So it wasn't really legal for him to release them. And it could have, made it so that Ghislaine Maxwell, a convicted pedo who never even denied that she was a pedo, not at her sentencing or at any other point in her trial, would have gone free possibly. And there was ongoing litigation with Prince Andrew and all types of other things that made it so that the files had to be under wraps. But hey, how come Trump didn't release them? He had them before Biden. You guys want to tell me? I'm curious to find out. Why didn't Trump release them again in his first term? I'll wait. And Biden didn't have Congress. Yeah. Why did he kick his best friend out of Mar-a-Lago? If you speak to somebody, that means they're your friend. That's a pretty low. No, Jeffrey Epstein said it. And it's so funny because you guys take certain things he says as proof that he hated Donald Trump, but you completely ignore the fact that he told Michael Wolff, and it's on audio. It's been recorded. I've heard the audio. A lot of us have, that they were best friends for 10 years. Jeffrey Epstein said that to Michael Wolff, who was his biographer at the time, I believe. So, yeah. It's not that they just spoke. Here, guys.
Charges that
see if you see any connection between Trump and Epstein.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
Yeah. She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon?
She's got Marlon's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this blood yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I standing there with no...
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
you are one.
All right, I was going to say that, but it's true.
I wonder why he lied about knowing Prince Andrew. I wonder why he said that he wishes Ghislaine Maxwell, a convicted pedophile, well. I wonder why. Oh, they were friends. That's right. He even said it right there, So, guys, please, okay? If Donald Trump wasn't in them, why isn't he releasing them? According to you guys, it's all fucking Democrats in there. So why, by your own logic, because you say if Trump's in them, why didn't Joe Biden release them? Well, if Democrats are in them, why isn't Trump releasing them? Tell me why. Or just tell me why he's not releasing them in general. It's not hearsay, fuckface. You see Donald Trump saying things with his own words. You hear him, Snowberry, okay. You're full of shit. He did too. He did what? If you've talked to someone, that means they're your friend. That's not true. The Democrats had them for 4 years. He didn't just talk to them. They were best friends. How about the fact you can ignore the fact, too, that Trump is on Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs 8 times? Was that just because he just talked to them? They weren't friends. And they would fly to places like, Trump's casinos in Atlantic City together. Stuff like that, because that's a fact. How about the fact that there was 13 different types of contact information for Donald Trump in Jeffrey Epstein's little black book? 13 different types, different ways to contact Donald Trump in his little black book. You guys will spin it any way you can. And the funny part is, man, if this was any Democrat and they just said hello to each other, look at the way you make a big deal out of fucking, who is it? Hakeem Jeffries and that other bitch that texted Epstein during a hearing, whatever. You guys make that out to be like they're convicted pedos in your mind just because they had a text with him. But Trump, all this fucking involvement with Jeffrey Epstein, and it's like, it's nothing. It's nothing. You guys are so full of shit. If you stood against pedophilia at all, you would be up in arms about this, but you don't care. The bottom line is this guy is your identity and you got to protect him at all costs. You don't care if he raped children. You don't care what he did. You don't care. Like who, Ryan? Give me, without saying Bill Clinton, because he got a blowjob in the Oval Office. Tell me who, what Democrats have been caught in any type of crazy sex scandal or pedophilia or anything. Tell me how many, because I could read you a whole list of Republicans. And if you want me to, just let me know. I will. Go right ahead. Let me know. I just gay sex scandals alone and pedo shit. I'll read you a list of Republicans. So you guys say the Democrats, but which Democrats? Who? Yeah, I know, Mud Butters. I know. They are. You have to be, man, to support one. Amazing how stupid the left-right paradigm is and how much paradigm. Oh, shut up, Corn Plum. Listen, bro, the bottom line is there's 2 fucking parties, okay? And you're not going to change that, and neither are any of us. So, and yeah, they're 2 totally different worlds. At this point in time, there might have been a time where there were 2 wings of the same bird. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not even close. Except for the stuff you just heard and saw from Trump's own words and shit. And that's not true either, Joshua. There's Epstein files that have come out already. There's fucking the emails between Epstein and stuff. There's proof that backs this stuff up. There's videos of Donald Trump dancing with Jeffrey Epstein. Do you want me to show you? Or you'll just say, well, it's no big deal. They were just talking. How about the fact that Donald Trump had a party for one of his pageants or some shit like that? There's a bunch of, and I don't think they were underage girls, women. He invited all of them to his house for a party, all these pageant contestants, and it was only him and Jeffrey Epstein at the party. How about the fact that Jeffrey Epstein has an email that says Donald Trump spent hours at my house with one of the victims, and Trump knew all about the girls? You guys will spin it any way you have to. Oh, Matt Gaetz is another one, of course. Read what? What do you want me to read? The list of Republicans? Okay, watch. Republican gay sex and pedophilia scandals. All right. Hold on. Let me try to get a list. List of Republican gay sex and pedophilia scandals. Joshua, I didn't say that. Fuckface. Do you listen to what I'm saying? The point was, you're saying they're not friends, yet they were at a party. It was only the two of them. Donald Trump invited all these beauty pageant contestants, and only Jeffrey Epstein, but they weren't friends at all. Okay. Let's see. All right. Republican anti-abortion activist Howard Scott Heldreth is a convicted child rapist in Florida. Republican County Commissioner David Swartz pleaded guilty to molesting 2 girls under the age of 11 and was sentenced to 8 years in prison. Republican Judge Mark Pazahanik pleaded guilty to no contest to fondling a 10-year-old girl and was sentenced to 10 years probation. Republican anti-abortion activist Nicholas Morency pleaded guilty to possessing child pornography on his computer and offering a bounty to anybody who murders an abortion doctor. Republican legislator Edison Misla Eldorado was sentenced to 10 years in prison for graping his daughter between the ages of 9 and 17. Republican Mayor Philip Giordano is serving a 30-year sentence in federal prison for sexually abusing 8 and 10-year-old girls. Republican campaign consultant Tom Shortridge was sentenced to 3 years probation for taking nude photographs of a 15-year-old girl. Republican racist pedophile and United States Senator Strom Thurmond had sex with a 15-year-old black girl, which produced a child. Republican pastor Mike Hintz, whom George W. Bush commended during the 2004 presidential campaign, surrendered to police after admitting to a sexual affair with a female juvenile. Republican legislator Peter Dibble pleaded no contest to having an inappropriate relationship with a 13-year-old girl. Republican Congressman Donald Buzz Lukens was found guilty of having sex with a female minor and sentenced to 1 month in jail. Republican fundraiser Richard A. Delgaudio was found guilty of child P charges and paying 2 teenage girls to pose for sexual photos. Republican activist Mark A. Grethen convicted on 6 counts of sex crimes involving children. The list there's probably 300 more names on it. And not to mention Donald Trump's own spiritual advisor, Robert Morris, who just got busted for pedophilia. So, yeah. It's not the Dems, guys. It's not the Dems. Somewhat. Me too, Jeanette. Me too. And most of you need to open a history book or learn how to read. You're talking to them, I assume. It's like being a pedo is a plus to conservatives. It is. It's very strange. You know, they didn't back off even a little bit. When they came out in July, Trump and Pam Bondi and Dan Bongino and lied. After Pam Bondi just said in February, the Epstein list is on my desk. When they came out in July and said, there is no Epstein list, all bullshit, MAGA actually turned on Trump for about 5 minutes. And then they were right back kissing his ass again. And again, guys, I'll say this on every show. The reason for that is simple. He is their identity, period, the end. These are a bunch of people that have never been anything in life. And Donald Trump and MAGA are something they can be a part of, you know, his presidency and their so-called movement. So they will defend him. If he was on live TV tomorrow graping a 12-year-old girl, they would tell us how it was good for the country. They would spin it and say, oh, it was AI, or they would make up anything they had to make up to protect him. They don't care what he does. They don't care if he's a rapist. They don't care if he's a pedo. They don't give a shit. They don't care about anything, you know? Trump isn't releasing the files to protect Israel, dummy. Yeah, that's something you just made up. There's no proof of that whatsoever. You're just saying it. Yeah. MAGA will go down with this pedo. Yes. Google flight log to Pedo Island. You will find every major political Democrat and tons of Democrats like the late Rob Reiner. He went there. So did Robert De Niro, Ellen DeGeneres. Should I go on? I'm not sure about that, but I know that Donald Trump was on there. So are you just going to leave him out? Donald Trump was on there 8 times. Are you going to leave him out completely? I guess you are, because it's funny. You didn't name him in the list. Huh. No, I'm not, Don Ricky. I know you sick motherfuckers. You're as twisted as they come. You're pure evil. Yeah, right, Matt Gilbert. I'm sure you're a lefty. No evidence. Yeah, right. Only the guy, who's been talking about wanting to fuck his daughter since she was 4 years old. All the stuff you just saw in the video. Him looking at a 10-year-old girl and saying, I'll be dating her in 10 years. Katie Johnson's testimony under oath in a fucking deposition where her and I believe 4 witnesses that corroborated her story saying that Donald Trump brutally raped her with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, other than all that, no proof whatsoever. Yep. Yeah. Liberals are coward. Yeah. Maybe we'll see each other face to face one day, Anthony. We could test that out. I'm not a liberal, but I'm what you would consider a liberal. What is this? LOL, OL, Rob Reiner, LOL, OL, OL, TDS Nadia, he had, LOL, OL, OL. All right. What do you do for a living? Oh, you're looking at it, buddy. You're looking at it. See? And this is what I mean. All that stuff I just mentioned, that's nothing, but you'll say this, even though, now here's what's funny. So Ashley Biden said in her diary that her father, there was inappropriate showers when she was a child. That's all she said. She didn't say an age, nothing. She could have been 3 months old. We don't even know. Personally, I think it's weird, but it's no proof of him being a pedo. But it's funny. You'll take her word for that as rock solid proof he's a pedo. But when, during the Gawker lawsuit, she sat under oath and gave testimony and said, my father never did anything like that to me. Like as far as sexual abuse of any kind, and that her words in the diary were taken out of context and grossly misinterpreted and used to lob false accusations at innocent people. And those exact words, that don't mean shit to you, right? So in other words, if something she says fits your narrative, it's gold. If it doesn't, it's bullshit. $1,200 a month. Last month I made $4,000 just in my Cash App, and I have super chats, super stickers, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and Zelle. So how'd that work out for you? Well, again, she didn't even say when under oath. She didn't say anything about it. This was and she said it was grossly misinterpreted and taken out of context. So I guess you ignore that. And again, like I said, she could have been 3 fucking months old. You have no idea. You have no idea. I voted Trump first election, not this one. With Biden, I didn't get laid off a single time. Yeah, see? IRS is in the chat. Yeah, no shit. Everybody's always watching my pockets, bro. Donald Trump flew on Jeffrey Epstein's private plane at least 7 times in the 90s, often between Palm Beach, Florida, and New York. None of these recorded trips were to the private island, and none of Bill Clinton's were either, and none of anybody else's that we know of, that we have absolute rock solid proof of. So there's no proof. I'll be the first to say there's no proof Trump ever went to the island, but there's no proof any of these Democrats did either. But they'll state as fact that they did and totally ignore the Trump thing. When in reality, even Bill Clinton, like 20 out of 24 or something trips on Epstein's plane, he had the Secret Service with him. He was already president for 8 years at that point when he fucking was friends with Epstein and flying on his jet. And it's documented they were going to Africa and Asia and places like that to do humanitarian work for the Clinton Foundation. And again, you could laugh at that, but the Secret Service themselves have it documented that that's what they took the trips for. So I guess they're lying too, right? What about the flight logs, bro? What about them? That's what we're talking about. Trump's in them 8 times, which is why the Epstein files has gone nowhere. There's not enough evidence to take anybody down. Ryan Hopkins, the Epstein files haven't been released. What do you mean? They haven't been released. How do you know there's not enough evidence? You realize that over 99% of the fucking files we haven't seen yet. So what are you even saying? You're just saying that. Yeah, W. Campbell, he is, and Trump blew him. So are all of them movie starts that fund Democrats? I try to rewrite that in English. 1% is released. Yeah, about that. Yep. Look up what, Ryan S? Look up what? Let me see. DJT is a piece of shit along with anyone who supports him, without a doubt. Most successful PDF con man ever just because people aren't educated. Oh, no doubt, bro. Yep. He's got stupid voters, man. He's got stupid voters. Any of you guys who watch my other types of shows I do on this channel, you've heard of a guy named Tony Pizza. Tony Pizza is a guy who is the worst con man in the world, but he's made hundreds of thousands of dollars off of idiots on YouTube. And it's not that he's good at being a con man. It's just that they're so stupid. He's not smart. He's not intelligent. He's not clever. He's not witty. He's not slick in any way, shape, or form. But when you have stupid followers, you could take advantage of them with no problem. And that's the same thing with Trump and his people. You know, it's not that he's super smart or even a great con man. It's just that he has fucking idiots that follow him. And that's why they'll come into a chat like this and defend him, even though there's rock solid evidence he's all over the Epstein files, including the reporting by every goddamn major publication, including Rupert Murdoch's Wall Street Journal, that Pam Bondi sat Donald Trump down in fucking May and told him he's all over the Epstein files. And then they assigned 1,000 FBI agents, which pissed Dan Bongino the fuck off because they were working on other cases. They took 1,000 FBI agents to fucking redact his name from the files. And it's been since fucking May that they did this, and they still can't release 99% of it. That tells you how much he's in the files. They do have smooth brains. Tony Pizza is a YouTube is considering throwing him. You're talking about a con man? Yeah. Ryan Hopkins, again, what we have already doesn't have to be part of the Epstein files. Donald Trump is in videos with him. Donald Trump was accused under oath. A girl accused him of raping her when she was 13 years old, and there was people that witnessed it that corroborated her story, and they told their stories under oath, under penalty of perjury. The evidence is there if you want to see it. If you don't want to see it, then it's not evidence. This is even that video I just showed you is evidence. But you're like, no, because you don't want it to be. That's all. You don't want it to be. Great way to spell liar, fuckface. L-Y-E-R. Good job. Yeah. Thank you first, Dr. Dead. Yeah, it's just, if they had anything, he would have been charged a long time ago. Not true. Not true at all. What makes you think he could even be charged? What makes you think anybody can be charged? Guys, it's already been, 7 years since the big bust when most of these files were obtained by the FBI. Okay, so the statute of limitations is probably up on all of this stuff. Nobody says anybody's going to prison. It's about finding out who's a pedo. So I don't know what you mean. They would have charged him with what? If Donald Trump, his friendship was with Epstein in the 90s and early 2000s, there's nothing other than murder that he could still be charged with. So what do you mean he'd be charged? What would he be charged with? I don't get it. Yeah, sure. Of course. When it's Trump, people are accusing him for money. Yeah, sure. I know all about it. I know all about it. Ryan S., they did not. They did not. They released 1% of the files. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but put him in jail. Do it. Yeah, me, the prosecutor. Yeah, the guy who does YouTube. I have the power to put people in jail. Past the statute of limitations, it didn't matter in the state misdemeanor that morphed into 34 felony counts. That's because the statute of limitations was extended. And you're talking about, what was it, 5 or 7 year statute of limitations that was extended by 6 months, and it was happening all over the country because the courts were backlogged like a motherfucker because of COVID. Courts were shutting down left and right. So that you're talking about a different thing. You're talking about a matter of a few months versus a matter of decades. Not enough, but a lot more than the Democrat. I'm not sure what you're saying at this point, Ryan S. A lot more than what what are you talking about? Talk about Venezuela or Greenland. No, there's not much to talk about. Venezuela is bullshit. He wanted the oil. That's it. I feel like that's not going to work out for him, but who knows? He'll figure out a way to enrich himself and his family even more. It's just a distraction from the Epstein files for the most part, as far as I'm concerned. In Greenland, look, he had to back down as usual. He always does. He's taco. Trump always chickens out. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Ryan. Trumpers are the most un-American scumbags. Oh, without a doubt. Some of the worst people this country has to offer. Falsifying documents is almost always charged as a felony. Well, yeah, but in that case too, I mean, they failed to, acknowledge or this, or maybe they just didn't research it. Again, they don't like what they see, so they ignore it. But Donald Trump falsified those business records in order to cover up for another crime, an underlying crime. So that's what makes them a felony. They, on their own, they would have been misdemeanors. But he was falsifying the business records to cover up a hush money payment. And it was basically a form of election interference because he paid her that money to stop her, not from telling his wife about the affair, but from telling the American electorate, okay, the people that would be voting in that election. So, it's funny, he'll sue 60 Minutes because they edited a little piece, which every fucking news organization does with every interview. They edited a little piece of Kamala's thing. He'll call that election interference, but what he did, no. Yeah, McCarthy John. Yeah, but I don't think Trump ever knew that. Trump doesn't know anything. You know what I'm saying? He's finding out now. Ryan S. Yeah, it's basically nothing. Again, on the grand scale of things, you're talking about 2 million pages. They released 12,000 and 75% of that is redacted. It's all blacked out. And by the way, the Epstein Files Transparency Act, the law that was passed, that Trump had no choice but to sign into law, that says everything is to be released by December 19th, 2025, unredacted. And any redactions that took place could only be to protect victims' information, stuff like that. And it has to be explained in court by January 2nd, 2026. And they missed that deadline too. They redacted 75% of the 12,000 pages that were released. It's literally people holding up hundreds of pages. They're just blacked out. 1,200 is using all of us to get his earnings up to $1,250 a month. I don't know what that means. You talking about me? I don't know. Sounds like you want a civil war again. How do you justify hating 50% of Americans? Fuck you, Mike Morgan. You guys are always shouting civil war, you fucktards. Meanwhile, you're too scared to even use those legal guns you own because you might lose your Second Amendment right. I've already lost mine. I don't give a fuck. How about that? And how do I justify hating 50% of Americans? I hate anybody who supports evil, and especially anyone who supports pedophiles. And that's what you supports. I hate all of you motherfuckers. And any good person out there does. You deserve to be hated. You're horrible, disgusting individuals. You are. You're truly bad people. What is this guy saying? Are you believing? You guys are debating a guy that makes $1,200 a month. $1,200 a month, McGee. I make like $2,500 a month just off a super chat. You're very confused, bro. You're very confused. I've never had a month where I've brought in less than $7,000 on YouTube. Never. And I've been on here 4.5 years. So I know you'd like to believe that because you probably work at Burger King or something, but you have your feelings hurt. You're a scumbag, Y-O-U-R, and you're illiterate. Trump threatening 100% tariffs on Canada. When the future's open, the market is going to get crazy, people. Yeah, well, he'll continue fucking everything up. Democrats are full of hate. No. We just hate you. You guys hate everyone. I'm out. This guy can't be intellectually honest about anything. Ryan Hopkins, feel free to call in and debate me right now. You're out because you can't win a fucking debate in any way, shape, or form against me. And you don't like that I'm giving you facts that don't fit your narrative. That's all. But feel free to leave. I couldn't give a fuck if you live or die, to be honest. Well, which ones, Neo Shapiro, which ones that they've deported are child sex abusers? And what percentage of the people that were deported so far? I'll wait at the bottom for you to tell me. Go ahead. Which ones that they've deported so far are child sex abusers, and what percentage of the people that have been deported are? Go ahead, I'll wait. Yeah, it is Swiss Michael. Oh, look at this guy, another closeted MAGA fuck who thinks he just constantly has gay sex on his fucking brain. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. Not the bad guys, fuck them. The good guys, just the good guys. The non-MAGA people. Hit the like and subscribe. It's very, very important. What do you mean, Gijan? You mean like Charlie Kirk when he was on the air, and like Ben Shapiro and like Tucker Carlson and people like that? 410-941-9850. Yeah, Damon, there's nobody that doesn't know that. Listen, MAGA hates everybody. You hate Mexicans, you hate Muslims, you hate Jews, you hate fucking, you hate black people, you hate the LGBTQ community, you hate everybody. You hate everybody. The whole platform, the whole party is built on hatred. The whole so-called movement. It's impossible to know if they only release 1%. That's a made-up number. No, Ryan, it's not. They said themselves, the Trump administration has said there's 2 million files. Originally, they said there was 300,000 or something like that. And then they found through the Southern District of New York, 1.7 million more files. That would be 2 million files. That's what they themselves have said. You understand? So. Well, what do you make of that, Infidel Strong? Since you guys also swear that Democrats allow illegals in so they could vote, what do you say to that? And how do you know? I mean, tell me what percentage of the immigrant vote, because like a lot of the people in America are immigrants or second or third generation something. Like what percentage of the immigrant population? Because illegals can't vote. Period. So what percentage of immigrants vote for the Republican Party? Go ahead, I'll wait. You see how you guys just throw numbers out there and you got nothing to back them up, or you just say vague statements like that? Like the dude that said ICE is deporting child sex abusers, but can't name a single one or even come close to telling me what percentage of the people deported are that. Yeah, right, Kim, please. Please, you guys, listen to you guys and your leader, how you talk about this country. You hate everything about it. You hate everything it stands for. You hate the Constitution. You hate the people in this country. You're trash. No, that's not Ryan. That's not a lie. The Department of Justice said there's 2 million files. They don't even deny this. You realize that, right? They're not even denying this, but you are. Erica Kirk has moved on. Cindy Prim. Erica Kirk moved on before Charlie even got killed. She was probably already fucking JD Vance. Eric Kirk is the phoniest bitch on the planet. Yep. That's true. That's true. Sabrina Merrick, $2. Hit the like. Quality content on a Sunday. Thank you, Sabrina. Oh, Sabrina, wait a minute. How do you not have a fucking wrench? What? Hold on. You're here all the time. How do you not have a wrench? My apologies to you. I can't find you now. Can you put a comment in the chat? Wait, maybe I can go. Oh, there's your super chat. Okay, gotcha. There you go. Sorry about that, Sabrina. American writer, morons, idiots, and imbeciles. Yes. And yet 97% of the immigrants deported by the Obama administration were of Hispanic origin. What does that have to do with anything? And I'm not even sure that number is correct, but I'll tell you a number that is correct. 92% of the people deported by Obama's administration were violent criminals. That's a fact. So, but what would it matter if they're Hispanic? Or wouldn't it just go by the largest number of a certain type of illegal? I mean, then obviously more people from that specific group would be deported. What the fuck? Wait, what did this guy say? Blah, ha, ha, ha. Illegals can't vote. How do you know in California it's literally illegal to request ID at the voter booths? That's Ryan Hopkins. It's a lot. There's 17 states where there's no voter ID laws, and that's because it's unconstitutional. It's not in the Constitution. Everybody above the age of 18 has the right to vote, not only if you have voter ID. That's just what the Republicans do to suppress the minority vote. That's it. And you don't understand, dickhead Ryan. When I go to vote, there's a church I got to go to a couple blocks away. When I get there, I walk in, they got a big giant book. They ask my name. I give them my name. And then when they find my name, and only when they find my name, do I get a ballot. You know why? Because I'm a registered voter. So illegal immigrants can't register to vote. Okay. And they can't vote, period. If their name isn't on that list, they can't vote. You don't just walk in and say, give me a ballot, and then you cast a ballot. That's not how it works. Have you ever voted? It's against federal law. They cannot vote in federal elections, period. And there's never, ever been a widespread issue with it. Never. Has there been a widespread issue of illegals voting in federal elections? Not even on a small scale. I mean, it's minute. It's a few instances here and there. It's nothing. Yep, Damon, again, this is what you've been brainwashed into believing, that we don't know that. There's nobody who doesn't know that. And by the way, you should be careful how you say that, because they have ways of giving people these things, and they're not biologically what their parts say they are. You know what I'm saying? So you're supposed to be careful. You say something like females or people that were born with female reproductive organs, stuff like that. That would make more sense. But you're not bright. I'm not surprised. I know, Cindy. Voter ID laws are not inherently against the U.S. Constitution. The Supreme Court upheld them as constitutional in Crawford versus Marion County Elect Board. Yeah, that's one instance, but the reason a lot of people are against it and a lot of states don't require voter ID is because it is unconstitutional. You are not supposed to need an ID. And if you guys don't know that that's just the way, I'm not at all. That's why it's called street smarts politics, fuckface. You just figured that out. It's, if you look at the numbers, and I know you guys don't believe this, but it's just to suppress the minority vote, because a smaller percentage of African Americans and Latinos and stuff have a state issued ID or a valid driver's license. That's just a fact. So that's why Republicans do that. It's only to suppress the vote, because they figure the less minorities vote, the more chance they have of winning. There were like 3 to 4 undocumented immigrants who voted over the last 40 years. I believe it. Is that right? Wow. Unbelievable. They'll do anything to cheat. Remember, don't bring a gun to a protest unless it's an illegal firearm and you cross state lines and your name is Kyle, then totally being a gun so we can call you a hero. Well, I don't. That last part got me, but yeah, I know, right? That's the only way it's okay. I do vape, Jeanette, sometimes, but when I do these shows and I talk a lot, I smoke. I actually have a vape right here. I cut down my smoking by over half, but I still smoke. This guy's saying that about voting, have never voted. Oh, the guys saying that about voting have never voted, especially in person. It takes less than an hour of my time. I don't know which side you're on, but well, of course it does. It does. Depending on where you are, you might have to wait. If you're in Philadelphia, somewhere in New York City, it could take you hours to actually be able to vote. But I live in a small town here. I walk right into a church. It takes me maybe 10 minutes, maybe. But they have to know who I am. They don't just hand me a fucking ballot. I have to be a registered voter. None of you can go get me a credible source that has ever reported widespread voter fraud amongst illegal immigrants. Never. Go ahead. I'll wait. Rightfully, yeah, sure he was. Sure, because you like him, or it was rightful. How about no more sanctuary cities in America? Well, what's your problem with them, Ramos? Just out of curiosity. What's your problem with sanctuary cities? Curious. Yeah, sure, infidel strong. Yeah. In your fucking imagination. That's why even when Donald Trump hired a firm on his own, hired a firm to investigate voter fraud in the 2020 election, they couldn't find any, so he fired them. Yeah. Why do you care, Kyle? Why do you care who has an ID and who doesn't? Do you know that it's harder for some people than it is for others? Fuckface, do you know that? Oh, fuck that, Jeanette. Yeah, he is. He is. It amazes me how grown men can be this brainwashed by the left. Tell me you didn't get female attention without telling. Juice talks politics. Let me tell you something. I probably had more pussy on my worst day than you will on your best. I'm married to a beautiful fucking woman, dickhead. And we're not the ones brainwashed. We'll tell you straight up, any fucking Democrats that are in those files, they can all go to fucking jail. I don't care what happens to them. We don't worship any politician. You guys worship Donald Trump. You follow him blindly. You repeat what he says like mindless robots. You're literally programmed and you're too stupid to understand you're fucking brainwashed. What did I say exactly, Don Ricky? What did I say? Tell me how I implied that. By who, Ramos? Yeah, no shit, Cindy Prim. They don't know what sanctuary cities mean. No, they don't. You don't even know what a sanctuary city is. And you're talking about no more sanctuary cities. What is a sanctuary city? Tell me. They think that a sanctuary city means that just illegals can just flood the place and they're just allowed to stay there legally with no problems whatsoever. You know, that it's a place where illegals can go. You know what I mean? It's like we welcome you. Come on, come move in right here. That's what they think it means. Can you vote by mail? Who, me? Probably, yeah. I don't, but I'm sure I can. An incel bring up women is funny. Who, the guy in the chat? I know. Okay, bud, that's proof right there. No guy that calls other guys bud has ever gotten pussy. You are complete. You are pussy repellent. I guarantee it. Chicks come around you and they run the fuck away. You're like off for bugs. You know, you're pussy repellent. Guarantee it. But okay, bud. One of the gayest things any man has ever said. Any guy who calls another guy bud takes it in the ass. No offense, but that's just my opinion. Sorry if I offended any of the good guys. Guys, do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. It's very important. There's no evidence of widespread fraud, according to interviews with government officials and documents reviewed by the New York Times. This is illegal immigrants. This is a Trump supporter, by the way, Victor Falls. It means the city won't help federal agents remove illegal aliens. No, that's not what it means. It means a sanctuary city. It simply means because there are immigrants, illegals that are afraid, for example, to report crimes that they're victims of and stuff. because they'll get deported. So in a sanctuary city, if you do something like that, let's say, God forbid, a kid gets molested and the parents report it and the whole family are illegal aliens, they won't get deported just for reporting being victims of a crime, something like that. That's basically all it is. It's all it is. And it's for good fucking reason. It's for that very reason right there. So that human beings can't be victimized all over the fucking country and have to be afraid to seek any type of justice or medical treatment or anything else. Yeah, no, Damon, apparently it's not, because larger percentages of minority communities can't get it versus white people. That's just a fact. Look up the numbers. You want me to look them up for you? Ramos. Your name isn't really Ramos, right? Ramos Gray Mountain, is that your name? Bro's still spurging over the comment after I called him Bud. Holy shit, what is... Oh, God, you have no idea. Juice talks politics. To me, that is like... Let me tell you something. I'm from New York originally. Okay, I grew up in Queens. My whole family's from fucking Brooklyn, right? I moved to Pennsylvania when I was young. And that's the kind of hillbilly shit you hear around here. Hey, Bud, what's up, Bud? Hey, you going fishing today, Bud? Shut the fuck up. I can't stand that. It's the dumbest thing to call another man Bud. Anytime you hear somebody call another man Bud, that guy is a jerk off. The guy that called him that, he's a complete jerk off. Hey, Bud. He's got his Oakleys on top of his camouflage fucking a Bass Pro Shops hat, you know what I mean? And he's got a fucking fishing hook on the brim. It's always Bud. That's the least cool thing you could say in the fucking world. Call another man Bud. I bet you don't say pussy. I bet you say puss. That's another sign of a fucktard. You can spend all of your taxes on illegal aliens, but I voted against it and won. You voted against it, period, and won, exclamation point. All right, gotcha, Ryan. Good job. Good job. You're doing great. You just don't like people that are different. Who, me? No. I told you, I don't like people like you guys. I don't like hillbillies. I don't like rednecks. I don't like fucking MAGA people. I don't like people that support pedophilia. I don't. And you guys do. You're all of those things. I'm sorry, but it's true. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Drives me insane. I will not mock Donald Trump for repeatedly confusing Greenland with Iceland. I used to do the same thing when I was a child. Yeah, Porky T, the motherfucker. He doesn't know the difference between the countries. A stupid fuck. Look at your sweatshirt, bud. My sweatshirt? This is not a sweatshirt. This is a t-shirt. It's a very expensive one at that. Sanctuary cities are harboring illegal aliens who are broken the law by entering illegally in the country. Let me ask you something. Do you have a problem, Don Ricky, with criminals? We went over this yesterday, right? So you don't like people who break the law, but you don't mind that Donald Trump is a 34-time felon and that he pardoned 1,600 violent criminals who assaulted 140 police officers on January 6th. You don't mind, like, be honest. Breaking the law only bothers you when it's people you don't like breaking the law, right? Like, you don't actually care about the law. You don't care at all. You don't even care if the largest, pedo ring in American history, made up of the richest, wealthiest elites in this country, if everybody gets away scot-free, as long as your guy gets to stay in office, right? You don't care about breaking the law, right? It's very selective. It's selective outrage. So you're talking about misdemeanors committed by illegal immigrants. When they enter this country illegally, they're committing a misdemeanor like petty shoplifting or a DUI. But then you'll be the first to say how Trump's crimes don't count because they're technically misdemeanors, right? Yeah, I know. You guys, this is why you can never win a debate with someone like me. Never. Because you're the most full of shit people on planet Earth, and you could be called out for every dumb thing you say. No, I'm not fat. Believe me. Bud, I'm not fat. I got a chubby face. That's about it. Trump is so racist. Woke people are worse. I wish there was a new Democratic Party without woke people. Well, what are woke people? Hydro Cocoa Plus, whatever your name is. Hydro Cocoa Puffs. What are work people or woke people? Can you tell me? I'm going to wait. What are woke people? Yeah, sure. See what I mean, Don Ricky? So it's only a real crime when you don't like the person committing it, you know? You don't actually care about things being actually against the wall because, or against the law, because you can't be convicted of a fake felony. There's no such thing. You only get convicted of real felonies. Name me a crime Biden's been convicted of. A Republican House Oversight Committee, Susan, read my lips, a Republican House Oversight Committee investigated Joe Biden for all his supposed crimes and cleared him of any wrongdoing. You could look it up right now. Grok, Google, ChatGPT, anywhere you want. A Republican House Oversight Committee cleared him of any wrongdoing. They attempted to impeach him 4 times, and each time came to the decision, let's not even take a vote because we don't have enough. So you just say Biden committed crimes, but there's no proof that he committed any. You see how you do that? Whereas Trump was found guilty of crimes by a jury of his peers that his lawyers helped pick. He was found guilty after the evidence was presented and all that stuff. Trump is I know. Trump is fucking morbidly obese. People who want you to call them what they want to be called, people that don't care your values and culture. Oh, that's woke people? People who want you to call them what they want to be called, people that don't care about your values and culture. First of all, Hydro Cocoa Puffs, I don't know what you are exactly, so I don't know what your culture is. But as far as values, for anybody MAGA to say they have values of any kind is disgusting. Because let me tell you what your values are. You don't like men in women's restrooms because you've been convinced that any man that enters a woman's restroom is there to rape somebody, even though if a man wanted to do that, he's committing a crime that could get him life in prison, probably a minimum of 20 years, but yet he's only going to do it if he's allowed to go into the bathroom. You know how stupid you sound when you say that? And men and women's sports, non-issue. 560,000 NCAA AA athletes in this country, and 7 of them are trans. It's not about any of that. You don't care about women. You hate trans people, period. That's your values. You hate anybody who isn't like you. And to be quite honest, in my opinion, you hate them because they are like you. You hate them because you're closeted and you're overcompensating. Okay, I've seen this go down in so many different scenarios with so many different issues. You are what you hate, you know? But as far as people, you despise people basically who want you to call them what they want to be called. Now, listen, this is my stance on it. And I don't care. Listen, this might bother the liberal people in the chat, whatever. If I see you as a man, you're a man, as far as I'm concerned. And if I see you as a woman, you're a woman. I'm not going to allow your preference to change my reality. I will not. I'm going to call you as what you are biologically. I know that pisses people off, but that's the way I am. Although, in no way, shape, or form am I bothered by them wanting to be called that. In no way, shape, or form am I bothered by a trans man or a trans woman or a man in drag or, any of that shit. In no way, shape, I don't care how you want to dress, what you want to present yourself as, what you want to be called, what you want to do behind closed doors, what you want to do in private. I don't give a shit. I'm not bothered by any of it. I don't hate any of these people for being different than me. I just don't. Gay people never bothered me. Trans people, I think one time I've seen a trans person in my life that I know of. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's so funny. You know what's funny about you guys is you always talk about like trans men going into women's bathrooms or whatever the fuck. I don't know which goes which way, but you don't worry about like women going into men's bathrooms, right? That doesn't bother you at all. You don't have any problems with it. I'm telling you, you guys, you don't have any values. You don't even know what woke is. Woke just means you've basically become aware of certain social injustices, like the fact that if you're black, even if a cop tells you to reach for your wallet, he might blow your fucking brains out after you do so. Okay? Shit like that. No, Gemini, are you serious? Oh, fuck, man. Guys, I gotta go. Fuck. Gemini, email me or something. Motherfucker. All right, guys. I'll see you next time.